Every year, the same story repeats. First, monsoon showers arrive, children celebrate, farmers smile, the air finally cools, and then, within just a few hours, entire cities come to standstill. Roads disappear beneath water, cars become boats, flights are delayed, metro stations flood, office workers spend hours stuck in traffic, hospitals struggle to stay accessible, businesses shut for the day. The question is why? Why does a country that has lived with monsoons for thousands of years still seem surprised by rain every single year? Is India receiving more rainfall than the rest of the world? Is population the real problem? Or is rain simply exposing something much deeper? Today, we are investigating why monsoon has become India's biggest annual infrastructure test. Here is something surprising. Rain is not the problem, really. In fact, India has always had monsoons. Long before modern cities existed, monsoon shaped agriculture, trade, architecture, and even culture. Ancient settlements were often built around lakes, rivers, ponds, and natural drainage channels. Cities understood one simple rule: never fight water, work with it. So, what changed? The answer lies in how our cities grew. Over the last 50 years, urban expansion happened faster than planning. Open fields became parking lots, wetlands became apartment complexes, lakes became shopping malls, concrete replaced soil, and with every new building, nature lost another place to absorb rainwater. Imagine pouring a bucket of water onto a garden, most of it disappears into the ground. Now pour the same bucket onto concrete. The water has nowhere to go. That's exactly what's happening in many Indian cities today. Most people think flooding is only about rains. It is not. A city works like a giant machine. Stormwater drains, roads, railways, metro systems, electricity, sewage, pumping stations. Every one of these systems depends on another. If one fails, the entire chain begins to collapse. A blocked drain floods a road, flooded roads delay ambulances, traffic delays deliveries, businesses lose working hours, electricity fails, schools close, flights get delayed. Within hours, one rainstorm becomes an economic crisis. That is why engineers call heavy rainfall the ultimate stress test. It tests everything at once. Most people notice flooded streets, but that's only the visible damage. The real loss is hidden. Every hour spent in traffic is lost productivity. Every flooded warehouse means delayed supply chains. Every damaged vehicle becomes an unexpected financial burden. Every cancelled business meeting has an economic cost. One major urban flood can result in losses worth thousands of crores of rupees. But the biggest cost is not money, it's confidence. When citizens begin expecting that their city will stop functioning after every heavy rain, it affects investment, quality of life, and long term growth. Is this only happening in India? Let's compare. Japan experiences typhoons and that bring extraordinary rainfall. Yet its cities often recover quickly. Why? Because beneath Tokyo lies one of the world's largest underground flood diversion systems. Singapore receives heavy rainfall throughout the year. Instead of relying only on rains, it preserves canals, creates retention ponds, and designs parks that temporarily store floodwater. Amazing, isn't it? Then there is Netherlands, a country where much of the land lies below sea level. Instead of trying to eliminate water, they redesigned these cities to live with it. Water plazas, flood zones, canals, smart urban planning basically. They accepted one simple truth: water will find its way, always. Now, the question is whether cities give it one. Is population really the problem in India? Because many people argue that it is because of the population that India can never treat this issue. Population certainly increase pressure, but it does not explain everything. Singapore is one of the most densely populated countries in the world. Tokyo is one of the largest metropolitan regions on earth. Yet they don't expertise widespread paralysis after every rainstorm. Why? Because population creates demand. Planning determines resilience, infrastructure determines survival, good governance determines outcomes. Rain treats every city equally, preparation does not. Experts around the world are now moving towards a new philosophy: don't fight rain. What India can learn? Design cities that absorb it. These are called sponge cities. Instead of forcing every drop into a drain, they allow water to soak naturally into the ground. Permeable roads, green roofs, rain gardens, urban forests, restored wetlands, parks that temporarily become lakes during heavy rainfall. Nature becomes part of the infrastructure. At the same time, cities need better maintenance. Even the world's best drainage system cannot work if it is blocked with plastic waste and construction debris. Infrastructure isn't about building, it's about maintaining every single year. Every monsoon, the headlines look the same: flood streets same, traffic jams, waterlogged airports, power outages. People often ask, why can't India handle rain? Maybe that's the wrong question. The better question is, did we build our cities to handle the rain that we already knew was coming? Because rain isn't exposing weak infrastructure, it's exposing decades of planning decisions. The cities that survive the future won't necessarily be the richest. They'll be the one that understands one timeless lesson: you cannot defeat water. You can only learn to live with it. And perhaps that's the real lesson every monsoon has been trying to teach us.